GM.
GM Mitch. Welcome back to Costa Rica, man.
Thanks, buddy. We were down at Abuela this morning. The waterfall at Toulouse.
Oh.
Yeah. Get in before the rain.
Nice. Did you get it?
We got into the water, but you guys can see it's getting ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodbye calls in the afternoon. Tin roof, man.
You guys are welcome. I mean, I have an actual ceiling here, so I mean, it's pretty insulated.
You and your high-class ceiling.
Yo, I got a ceiling, man. No bats coming into my house, nothing.
Oh my god, this morning, Mitch, in the GIVeconomy dev call, we were swarmed with bees. The whole house was full of fucking bees. Sorry, I already started live streaming, but just also, there were so many bees, and I was trying to lead the call, and Griff was smoking them out with Palo Santo running around, and it was just they were all around. It was crazy.
Where were they coming from?
I don't know. It was they were trying to get into my TV stand thing, and it was so many.
Yeah, I think a queen must have just decided to settle down inside our house, and they were swarming. We woke up to a swarm, and it was smoking them out, and eventually I just gave up on the smoke and started with the racket.
You took your little electric racket and just massacred them. Wow, ruthless.
No.
I didn't even get to join the call until it was over, basically.
Well, you were doing God's work, Griff, killing all those bees.
Was.
Some deity's work. Well, Chadfi, are you leading this game?
Yeah, for sure. Give me 1 second. I'll share my screen. We can get started. Let me know if you're able to see the Notion.
Look good.
Cool. All right, sweet. So I guess we'll kick this off with the intentions and distractions. I will go first. Intentions for this call. I guess this will be my first time formally leading it with some notes. So intention is to take good notes. Distractions. I pretty focused on this, so I'd say generally no distractions. Who wants to go next?
I can take it.
Sure.
I'm really excited to show off the regen param party results, and maybe if there's time, just discuss the give LTV. That's the one parameter that we didn't really finalize. So yeah, and go over it very briefly, the other ones, and also talk individual cap. I think that's also interesting. I'd love to hear a few people's input on it. As far as distractions, no bees. Everything's easy. No problems.
Awesome.
No bees. I'll pass it to Mitch.
Intentions. I just want to listen in. I don't think I have a lot to contribute here. Distractions. My brother's here visiting, so he's in the house. And I'm getting hungry for lunch already. I don't know. That's my distraction. And I'll pass it to Dan Kotabi.
Thanks, Mitch. Well, intentions. I just thinking I was in the parent party, such a fun party. So I'm a little bit on the loop now, but anyways, just super interesting always to be on the research call. And distractions, not any right now. I'll pass it to Jazz.
Thank you, GM everyone. So I think similarly to Kotabi, I'm also here with my intention for how we're going to discuss or maybe potentially finalize and gather your feedback on the Rari pool, the parent party that we had yesterday. was also really fun. I enjoyed it. And with the distractions, I actually need to be somewhere in an hour. So potentially for the last 10 minutes of the call, I need to jump out. Apologies in advance for that. But we'll try to stay for the majority and listen in. I'll pass it to Suga.
Hey everybody, I'm here just to see what y'all are doing. I got my nice hat on. I just got back from a run, so I think that's my only distraction. I'm a little pink and just having something to eat. I would like to pass it on to Kai, I think is there, yeah? Giant Tim.
Not sure if she said that or me. For me, I'm feeling good. I'm here to. My intent is obviously the Rari stuff and listening and trying to keep everybody up to date. And distractions. Of course, I'm at the office, phone calls and things, and other pings. All right. I don't know who went yet. Didn't go yet.
Can take it. I think I'm last. Yeah, my intentions for the call are just to if we want to finish the parameterizing of the Rari pool, that's cool. And then check in on, maybe we do a quick check in on token swaps, but I'm mostly kind of here to listen, absorb, and add feedback based on what you are all talking about. And I'm just distracted by setting up stuff for the comms call, but I'm also not really that distracted. And I think I'm last, but I'll pass it back to Chad.
Awesome, thank you. I'm gonna change mine from focus to, I forgot I have a meeting in 22 minutes, so I will have to pass it off to someone at 12:30 Eastern time. So I'm going to go ahead and start with what I can contribute the most to. So I'm going to skip over regen pools and go straight into token swap updates. So as far as the Fox Give pool, we're making pretty decent progress on this. We have the snapshot posted on the Shapeshift DAO as well as the Giveth DAO. So if you want to go give either or both of those love, please be my guest. So those snapshots are both up. And these links are hyperlinked into the actual Notion if you want to just get an easy shortcut. So yeah, there's that. Then the Gnosis Give. So I posted the GIP for this one. Oren assigned it number 41. So if you want to go in, it's got some pretty good love already. But if you want to come in and vote for this, that'd be great. I think the process for this one is it stays up until there's a pretty general or a pretty clear idea that it's got good support. So I think this one's probably going to be fine to go into a snapshot pretty soon. But we'll let it bake for a couple more days. We are at day 5 for the Gnosis Give forum post. So I think this is probably good to go on snapshot. So Simone is fry height. I don't think he's with us today, but he went ahead and put up a snapshot proposal. Lauren, I saw your comment. It might have been a little bit early. But I think we're at day 5 now. So I think, is this going to be snapshot or would this go in the Give Garden? I still a little off.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, it would go in the Give Garden if we're ready to get the funds out, but maybe it needs a snapshot first just to get community yes, no.
I think it's too much money for the garden. I think we'll have to pull it from the liquidity multisig, so the snapshot would pull it. It's $500,000 give. Or
yeah, you're right.
Or so I guess, do we only need 250K?
Yeah, that's essentially right. Yeah, 250K USD worth of give.
That's on the edge of garden or snapshot. I don't know.
We should just do snapshot, I think, and then take it out of the liquidity multi-sig. Might go faster. And this is the Fox one.
No, this is going to be the Gnosis. The Fox one is already up for.
Oh, isn't Gnosis 500K?
They're both the exact same.
Oh, 'cause we're making a 1 million liquidity pool, right?
Yeah.
So we need to send Karpatki 500K worth of give.
No.
That is for the Gnosis one, correct?
Oh, you're right. So we have to send them 500K, and then they send us back the LPs.
500K worth of LPs.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay.
And I think the Fox one was just,
We send 250 to them, and they send 250 to us.
and we combine that with 250K worth of our own, and then we make our own LP.
Yeah.
I kind of like this third party option because remember, Griff, we had that spooky slippage thing,
Yeah.
making the node one and the TC.
Yeah. Really didn't like that.
Yeah, it'd be maybe it's too late to change, but that would be a good format going forward. Like, just go this trusted third party route.
Yeah, I think so.
Because the problem is like once you make the first pool, then there's like this weird price shift, and then it like gives you a different rate when you try and make the second pool.
Yeah, it might be, and if worst case scenario, we can always just send it to a trusted multi-sig, do it all together, and then send the LPs back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're doing in the end. Like, we could even make a temporary multi-sig and then throw it away.
Yeah. I think I'm going to agree that the Fox is a little bit far along to go back unless we think it's necessary. I don't know what you guys are talking about with how scary it was with the slippage, but is that something that we want to maybe take this back to the drawing board, or do we want to sail ahead with the Fox swap?
It's taken so long for this shapeshift swap, like 3 or 4 months now. So I'd say let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And I think it might make sense to just write some kind of process or guideline for swaps in the future so that it's a little bit easier for us to say, hey, this is our process going forward if we're going to continue to do swaps. So that's good. Yeah. So I guess I'll talk to Freiheit about what he wanted to do with that snapshot. It looked like it was already up. So we might just could use this one. He might have deleted it, actually, it looks like. Anyway, I'll get with him on that, and we'll continue to push the Gnosis one forward. Cool. So Gitcoin. I've not made any progress on this one. So I can't really speak a whole lot to this one. I don't know, Griff, if you wanted to add a word or two here.
Yeah, no progress made that I know of. I'll try to reach out to Vishnu right now during this call and just see if there's any progress on his side about their general work. But no.
Okay, great. Before I move off token swap, does anyone have any questions about these three or have any ideas for some future token swaps that we should be looking at?
Would it be worth looking at any of the ones that we just did the water proposal with? Maybe it's redundant.
I think we have it with most of the people in there, but the two that we don't have work, and who's the other one? We have Bright ID, we have TEC, we have Fox, Honey.
We have a Give Honey, Give Farm.
Yeah, that's right.
We do a token swap.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we could try a token swap with them too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You said the other one would work, right?
Yeah, I don't think we should do it with work.
What about Prime?
Yeah, Prime DAO. They would probably be down. They have a token swap platform thing that they would probably want to use.
Yeah, I wrote about it.
You know, it might be interesting to do it with Ichi too. Ichi is in a place where their token has gone down so much. It's not like a bad time. It's kind of a good time to do a token swap with them if they'd be down.
Did I miss it, or did we talk about GTC?
Last week, Vishnu, who works at Gitcoin, came to this call, but there hasn't been any progress from that.
Okay, right. And Maker?
Ooh, man. Yeah, I tried with Maker. It doesn't seem like it's something they do.
Okay. All right.
I even told them we'd give them a good deal because we shorted them on the give drop because we didn't really have a place to put Gnosis chain tokens for them. Funny enough, even though it's like XDAI, you know, they didn't have an XDAI solution, so we could give them a good deal because we skipped them on the give drop, and they still weren't interested really.
What about Ant?
That's a good one. They would be interested. They have no DeFi liquidity, like none. There's no way to buy ANT outside of centralized exchanges.
Maybe they would also be good for a regen farm. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. If somebody wants to go ahead, Lauren.
Taking notes.
Oh, ANT, Aragon, and not Amped.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
ANT.
Do we have a contact for Ant that we can reach out to for regen farms or?
Anson. You know Anson?
Anson. Oh, like Anson. Yeah, Anson who's coming
Anson
in.
Parker?
Really?
Yeah, he's been working for Aragon for a while now.
So we could reach out to Anson and be like, hey, Anson, are you the right person to talk to, or do you want to send us someone?
He would point us to the right person for sure.
I've also been working with Lee, who's on the executive council.
Yes.
She's a quantifier, so I actually talked with her a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
She's working on a really interesting proposal to decentralize Aragon and make it into a DAO.
That's cool. Yeah. And we just did some work with them to get the EVM CRISPR thing passed.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. Guys, I think I missed one after we said honey. We said one before we said Ichi, and I missed that one. Does anyone remember?
There was Ant. There was GTC, which we talked about, and Maker.
Yeah, Maker. But Maker is probably not going to make it.
There was one more good one that we dug up. I forget what it was.
If it comes back to you, just message me. I'll put it in the notes here. One I was thinking of. Sorry?
Panvala.
Yeah. Oh, Prime.
Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. One I was thinking of, I know back when Hodl was still doing these, he mentioned Balancer. Balancer just launched their VE, and they've also partnered up with Redacted Cartel, so they're going to probably have a lot more interest in doing more liquidity work here shortly. So that could be an interesting one to do.
Yeah. DAO House might be interesting.
Like for the house token?
Yeah.
Cool.
They don't have any XDAI liquidity anymore. They moved it all to mainnet.
Gotcha. Okay.
How did people feel about Agave now?
Are they still working on it? Like, is that still moving?
I don't know. Their token bounced back pretty okay.
Yeah, it survived? That's good. Did they print? What did they do for the people who lost money? I haven't been following.
No, I haven't been following. I've just seen like the token prices has climbed back quite a bit.
That's nice.
Cool. Yeah, All right, lots of leads here to look into. So I'll take the lead on some of these and see who I can get some help from in the Give community, and yeah, we'll take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, I can talk to Prime if you want.
Okay. I don't have my video pulled up. Was that Mitch that said that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. There. No one really has put up too many more bribes, but there's already quite a lot of and I think a lot more are going to come in. If we look at, so BitDAO already has 7.4 thousand. That's around what Shapeshift had last year, or not last year, sorry, a couple months ago. So just pointing it up here, it looks like the top 5 all had around 6 to 8,000 votes. So yeah, I would say BitDAO is probably going to get one. Luna will definitely get one just because of the size of their bribe. Redacted hasn't put up any bribes yet, but they own a ton of tokamak. And then Rune and Stargate. There could be, I don't know. It's a little early to say, but these votes look really, really low. And there's still like another week left. So I could see these climbing up really high. But yeah, I think the competition here is going to get a little bit more fierce with the bribes on a hidden hand. But anyway, just wanted to give you guys a quick update on that one. So I don't think there's a whole lot to talk about, but I'll continue to keep an eye on it and talking with our tokamak contact that Decentralized J put me in contact with. But does anyone have any questions about Core 3 in general or Core 4 coming up, hopefully the next couple months?
I also heard that after a couple more times, they're going to try to open it up more to anybody getting them. They're just trying out the process at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. I heard that from Willie as well, and it makes sense just because, I mean, even with just their liquidity deployment, like their main thing, they took so long to even do the first one. They won't move fast and break things. So that makes a lot of sense. I think once they get a bunch of these reactors under their belt, it'll be a lot easier for us to get one. So definitely agree.
So I'm sorry, I have to ask, but I bought a bunch of toke just in case we're gonna vote. How do I know where to get the best bribe?
Oh, dude, for sure. Right now, go to Hidden Hand. Well, just go to votomac.com or Hidden Hand. I would probably, which is what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to vote for Luna because you get UST, so you get $1, and then you can post it for 20% APY, on Terra. There will probably be more bribes rolling in. I imagine Rune and Stargate are both going to start putting bribes up. Stargate's a pretty decent alt token. I think it's got a lot of potential. So if you want to do if you want to vote for an alt, I would maybe wait for Stargate to post a bribe. But yeah, Terra right now is the one to post the bribe for. They do have a ton of votes though. So this is it looks like it's about $1 per vote roughly right now. So depending on how much toke you have, I think it's like you get 8 votes per toke. Sorry, six votes. So you get about $6 for each toke you have. But this probably is going to go way up just because of how much rewards. They posted this yesterday, I believe. So I imagine people are going to start flooding Luna with votes.
So do you just wait until the end and then see where you get the best?
That's probably what I would do. You can you can vote and then change your vote, but you got to pay gas every time. So I would probably wait if I were you.
Cool.
It ends May 7th. 5 days. So May 9th. But yeah. Cool. Just out of curiosity, was it enough to even compete with the bottom two right now?
Honestly, I have no idea. I have my buddy Kirch manages these things for me, and I said buy a bunch of toke. I have no idea how much I actually got.
Okay. If you multiply it by 6 and it comes out to around this, let's revisit this.
Okay. I doubt it's that much. I'm not that kind of whale.
Okay, gotcha. All right. A man can dream.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, sweet. So I got to hop off here in about 3 minutes. I got a meeting I can't miss, but I'd love to, if anyone has any DeFi innovations that they want to talk about, and then I'll give the reins to someone else to hit the regen pools. Is there anything cool in DeFi that you guys are seeing right now? I know we've got a ton going on right now, but anything cool you've seen that you want to look into more or perhaps just talk about?
I don't know if it relates to Give, but Ribbon Finance looks like the future.
What are they doing?
Yeah. They're doing like call and put covers on like a weekly basis, and like you can put in stables and ETH, and then they like generate like an algorithmic strike price, and so then like they sell calls to people, and then they take the difference between what the price was and what they sold the calls as, I think. And it's not used. It's different because it's not using just like this printing token sort of idea, but it's actually generating like real revenue using derivatives. And so you're getting like 15 to 25% APY on like Ether and USDC and stuff. And
so one cool thing we could do with that, and I was thinking about bringing this up for DopeX, is we can actually create our own vault. I don't know the process with Ribbon, but with DopeX, you have to just collect a bunch of RDPX, which is their rebate token. And eventually they're not allowed protocols to create their own vaults. So what you can do is essentially hedge against your own token. So like, for example, if we think Give is about to, plummet, we could buy puts. Or if we think Give's going to go up, we could buy calls. Or if we're about to do something, essentially it just gives us a lot more, because I know we're trying to do that with like the Angel Vault, where we're creating essentially a buy wall against price actions. So if we do create that buy wall, we could do, call, for example. So if the price does go up and we have that big buy wall, it hits the buy wall, goes up, we hit that call number, and then we just basically print money. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff I think you can do. I think Ribbon just launched their B3 as well. But yeah, DopeX, I'm not sure how you get a vault in Ribbon, but DopeX, I know it's definitely possible. But anyway, yeah, that's a really cool idea for sure.
I don't know if this is the place for it, but I put up that post a couple days ago to extend the Give farm. I don't know if you guys got it in the call earlier today. Does that count as GIVeconomy?
I would have, but I kind of forgot until just this call. So we can talk about it now.
Yeah, so I think I mentioned it slightly to Griff, or we talked about it in the governance call, that's right. And so I just kind of maybe spec'd it out a little bit more, like what extending the Give farm would actually look like. And so I think I proposed 4 months, and then Lauren, you made a comment like maybe we do it in like 2-month segments.
Yep. Yeah, my thoughts are like, I mean, if we can get more token swaps in, and then we actually have enough like down liquidity and don't have to do the mining rewards, that's better. But if we're worried that like if we remove the mining we won't have enough liquidity, then I think like smaller intervals, like rather than like setting it up and committing to like another long period of time, I think shorter is better. I don't really like putting out so much Give constantly to exchange for liquidity. It's like just way better if we can not, and if we have to, then we do it for shorter.
I put the proposed distribution is smaller than the final amount. Like when this Give farm ends, we're distributing 700K a week, and then this would distribute 600K a week across all farms. So it would be lower than it is now, but I see your point. It's like a little under 1% of the total token supply in rewards. Go ahead, Griff.
Do we want to reconsider Give Honey? And maybe switch it for like Give X-Dye or something like that, or consider switching the farms to something else?
That's great, yeah. The main point is that we want to de-incentivize single asset staking in anticipation of Give Power.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I think in this proposal we should say when Give Power starts, we will switch the single asset staking to Give Power.
So the Unipool contract, you just fire up a different one and then you switch to the token distro.
Yeah, we'll replace. I mean, for what's I'm not sure how it'll work. We'll have to talk to Sem for the single asset staking on XDAI. But I think we would just for mainnet we would just turn it off, and then we would put a different card there that basically like sets it up so that you bridge your tokens and then stake it in on XDAI. You know, that was the plan for mainnet. And then on actually, I'm pretty sure that the unstaked tokens are just where they are already. Like the people who, when we move to Give Power, will just switch it, and the tokens won't even have to move. They'll just have the option. And I don't know, you can confirm this, Lauren, maybe, but pretty sure they'll just have the option of locking their tokens will look like they're unstaked, but they'll still be earning rewards, right?
Yeah, they won't look like they're unstaked. They'll still be staked. They just won't be locked.
Okay. And then, but they'll just have like another option, right? Like they won't have to remove their tokens and then restake them.
I don't think so, but I can confirm with Sam.
Yeah, so I think however we do this proposal, we should just say like, hey, when Give Power comes, single asset staking goes to Give Power, you know? And
yeah, that might be a technical thing though.
It's actually really easy. It's just the notify, you know, our rewards, like to turn on rewards, it takes a multi-sig transaction, but to turn off rewards, there's just one key that Amin controls that notifies reward, right? Every 2 weeks. So that key has the ability to say no and set that to 0. Like we did for UniV3.
But all I'm saying is that's just like a detail. Like the user might not even notice that their single asset migrated to somewhere else. But in terms of like farming rewards, it's like, do we want to go for 2-month segments? Do we go for the middle, like 3 months? Switch the pool, like maybe give Gnosis or give XDAI?
I want to interrupt, guys, but I really got to drop here.
Sorry.
Yeah, appreciate the time, and I left the Notion link up in the GIVeconomy channel if anyone wants to take over. But talk to you guys later.
I can take over.
Bye.
Thanks, Chad.
Awesome. Thanks, good. See you guys.
Let me pull up. But yeah, so I like the 2-month thing, staying nimble. Also, we're going to have new farms, like have UniV3. We'll have Angel Vault and UniV3 eventually. Like, how long? I think it's worth extending the Give Die since we just started it. You know, I'd feel bad about turning it off after like 2 months.
Yeah. The big thing is like, well, we'll launch these, but like until they're successful, it might take longer.
Yeah.
You know? So we might have the product ready in a month and a half, but until it's like actually like going full steam, it could be 3.
Yeah, but so like right now we have a month and a half before the farm rewards turn off, right? So maybe we launch right as those rewards turn off. We extend them if we extend them 4 months, then we might regret it. If we extend them 2 months, then it's like, okay, let's make sure we have space to test out the Angel Vault and all this stuff and see how it goes.
the other thing that I was pointing out in the post is that we're realistically going to be busy or distracted. Like we've got 2 conferences in July, you've got Burning Man in August, and then you've got this Giveth retreat tentatively in September. So like if we're going to be distracted with those things, are we going to have the bandwidth to like do this crossover, you know, if there's any crossover?
That's a really interesting point.
I kind of put in the post there, I was like, you know, on a normal timeline, maybe we do it, but I think we're going to be distracted this summer.
Yeah, I mean, 2 months after, half of us will be at Burning Man on August 25th, which would be 2 months after.
Now, what we could do is we could taper the rewards. Like maybe we start at 600K and maybe we're at 300K by the end, by the 4th month.
Does anyone else have any thoughts on this? Farming rewards? No. Well, I definitely like avoiding anything any deadlines in late August. It seems like there'll be quite a contingent probably of people off. I mean, August, all around the world, August is just a horrible month to do work. So people in Europe are taking off. People in the States are still on summer vacation. It's scary times. So that's a good argument for 3 months. Okay, well then let's move this party over to the Regen farm.
Wait, one last thing for the innovations. Yeah. Put it on your radar, MetaMouse.
MetaMouse.
Yes. Basically, if you want to pay bills as a DAO, you know, it's a little harder because you're, you know, crossing over, and they're still starting up and all that, but you can actually pay them and they pay your bills for you. It's kind of an interesting system. They're testing it and marketing in Shapeshift at the moment. So,
that's super cool.
It's kind of neat. I don't know. Just they're not listed in the US as automatic. I guess the several other countries it's automatic and all that, but in the US it's still manual. But they're growing. So anyway, that was it.
Nice. Okay, so then let's I'll share screen. Is anyone interested in taking notes in this Notion doc?
I started. Just give me 2 seconds here.
Thanks, Mitch. Yeah, so the next big thing is it up here? Well, Regen Pool. So the Regen Pool, we had a great param party yesterday. It was a hoot. Most of the action is in the spreadsheet, and I want to just go over what we decided. So the big decision at the beginning was that we will turn off everything that happens that besides exactly what we want. So no one will be able to deposit Ether or do anything besides our flow, which is deposit Fey, and then we deposit Give, and no one else will be able to deposit Give. And we turn off all the other bells and whistles. And so that means that Fey LTV, when people deposit Fey, they won't be able to loan against it. There wouldn't even be anything to take a loan out on. So we're setting LTV to 0. We're still having a debate on donation.eth. We were 2 people voted for donation.eth and 4 voted for give.eth and 1 abstained. So I think we're going to bring that to the forum and just get a final answer for that. Upgradability is a yes. Reserve factor, we're leaving at the default. Interest model was Fei, which is like the lowest interest rates possible. Let's see, what else is worth mentioning? There's an admin fee function where the admin fee is what we would send to either give.eth or donation.eth. We would be the ones paying it because we're the ones borrowing. And the amount that is being sent will be somewhere around like $50 to $450 a month. So that would be the admin fees. The gives the close factor.
Where is the admin fee going finally?
We're gonna decide on the forum.
Okay.
And the whitelist, we're gonna leave it open that anyone can do anything, so anyone can deposit Fey. Close factor, we were saying that we should set this close factor is how much can be liquidated at any given moment. By like if let's say that our loan gets underwater, like the give isn't we fall into a liquidation setting. Well, how much of our give can be liquidated by one liquidator? And so we set it. We were thinking about setting it kind of low at 10%, but it's audaciously low compared to other pools. So we want to confirm that we understand this parameter correctly. So that's on the to-do list. And then Fey supply cap, we're going to cap it at 4 million. So that's the most Fey that can be deposited, which also limits our liability a little bit. How much give do we put in? We're just going to set it to 10% of the market cap. So, and 10% of our assumed market cap, once we know how much give we will have to put down for getting the Angel Vault. And then, and then give rewards. So, I think we're going to set it for 180 days, but with the assumption that after 30 days, we will reassess how much rewards we give. But at least in the smart contracts, we'll allocate about 1 million give in the give stream for this Fey deposit. And that would be basically targeting a 30% APR. And that's 30% APR will end up being around 5% liquid and 25% streaming for depositors. So they'll get 25% of their APR will be from the give stream. And this is targeting 30%, assuming that only 1.5 million Fey is deposited. If more than 1.5 million Fey is deposited, then there will be actually a lot smaller APR. And the APR actually does cap out, which is interesting. I think it's at about 11.5%. Just add that. Yeah, that's about right. So yeah, at about 11.5% will be the lowest the APR can be, which is kind of interesting. So there'll be like a minimum APR that people can receive. And this is all assuming a give price of 20 cents. If the give price goes up, we're going to set it so that this exact number will be set when we know the give price at the time, and we'll leave it at that. We will. But if the give price goes up, the APR goes up. Give price goes down, the APR goes down. And so these numbers will be all dependent on the give price. And the one last thing that we still want to debate is the LTV and the collateralization. And I love your guys' input in here, especially you, Mitch and Suga, because you guys weren't here before. Give any input, but maybe Kotabe, Lauren, Giant Ken, and Yas, maybe you've had time to think about it. We are there's this setting that basically says how much can we borrow against the collateral we deposit. So this is the LTV, loan to value ratio. I think, I don't know. That's what I call the LTV. And so there's a number that is also interesting, which is like how over collateralized is our deposit. So if we borrow $1 million and we put in $4 million worth of Give token, then we're starting out with an initial collateralization of 400%, right? $4 million of Give to borrow 1 million Fey. And this is more of a optics thing because we can always increase, we can always send more Give here, raise the supply cap, and send more Give. So we can maintain, our goal is always to maintain above 250% collateralization. But what do we start at? So we could start at 400%, right? If we have these numbers, if the Give price is 20 cents, the LTV is 75%, and then we would, if there was a sudden crash, we would start liquidation at 7 cents, right? If this is what we put in. If we decrease the LTV, then we would get liquidated sooner. We would get liquidated at 10%. And yeah. So the 75%, it kind of gives us more space. A lot of tokens use 85%, but that's kind of risky because will the token actually be able to be liquidated for depositors? You know, at that ratio, maybe not. Yeah. And so yeah, I'm curious if anyone has any opinions on this. It was kind of the leftover topic before finishing. Maybe I'll just pass it around and see if anyone has any thoughts. Giant Kin?
My only thing is I say 50 because anybody can still deposit, Give, and borrow against it.
No. We'll set the supply cap to exactly how much we deposit, so they won't be able to deposit Give.
Yeah, as long as you do that, it's not a thing. But when you start paying down the other side, you might decide to take out Give. I don't know.
I think if we decide to take out Give, then we should lower the supply cap.
Okay.
So no one, because we're really just we're not trying to use the Rari pool's normal functionality as an open Aave that can be like Giveth's own Aave protocol. We're just trying to borrow the Fey.
But by setting, okay, maybe this part wasn't being debated, but by setting the cap only to what you want to deposit and Give, are you creating less token utility?
Yes. Like, as in, we're not letting people just use Give to borrow loan against it and loan against it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We are.
Because the idea is, like, you could have it at least what you need, and then, like, people could deposit Give. The risk is that, like, no, because you're depositing all the Give that you need, and then people can just go in there with extra. And, you know, you lock up Give. Instead of people selling it, they get an APR. They could borrow any other stable asset, or I'm assuming, or they can only borrow Fey.
They could only, well, right now we're turning off all other functionality besides the Fey.
Right.
So,
okay.
In the future, we can open this. We could open this pool up and but at least, you know, given the current like optics of regen pools, we were going to just even hide the UI. Like, the UI will be there, but we would never promote it. We never even tell people about it. We'll just have a card on our Give farm that people go to deposit Fey.
Okay.
And
well, I won't get into the weeds then, since you've already decided that part. Yeah, I think. Go ahead.
I think that's the promise of the regen pool, though, right?
Yeah.
Like once we have this up and we use it for this and we feel comfortable with it, then yeah, let's raise the supply cap. Let's lower the LT. If we do that, we definitely want to lower the LTV, as Giant Kin is saying, because we don't want people to get liquid. We don't want people to go too risky with our token as collateral. Otherwise, we could see something like what happened with Ichi.
Right. Yeah. Well, on the other hand, you're giving a better deal for Fey, you know, because users are using their stable token to do whatever they want with it, So it's more exposure for Faye.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I think the standard LTV or collateralization I've seen is like 200% for assets.
So that would be 66% on LTV.
66.
It's like, because they're inverted.
Yeah.
Inverted.
But basically, they have to put in twice as much assets to borrow that amount.
Mm-hmm. Or they get liquidated when their assets are less than 200, twice their deposit.
Yeah. Well, I've seen like the recommended is like 200 and then 150 is like liquidation.
Yeah, and 150 is 75. So this LTV is really for the liquidation, and we're proposing, or the initial proposal is actually 400%. That we put in 4 times as much as what we're borrowing. To start.
And I mean, we easily have 4 million give. It's like since we're the only depositor, like, how much does it matter?
Yeah. Well, the impact is that increases our market cap because we're taking it out of the circulating supply. So then if we put in $4 million of give, our market cap goes up $4 million. So the optics around the Angel Vault, we'd want to have we'd have to put more money into the Angel Vault. So technically we'd have to borrow more Faye to, have that 10%. It's kind of silly because it's not really circulating, but there is a potential for it to be circulating, and the optics around the market cap and da-da-da.
Sorry, dude. The downpour has begun.
Yeah.
Plugging. So then what would be, if we go for the 150, then our market cap remains higher?
Yeah.
Because we're taking less out of the supply.
Yeah, like if we can have a higher initial collateralization and with a lower liquidation. So it's really this 7 cents. It's like if let's say we make that we liquidate at, if we have twice as much, then it only changes it to 8 cents actually.
That's going up to 200%.
Yeah, oops. Yeah, so if it's 75, then it's 6.7 is our liquidation.
Mm-hmm. Well, if we hope to make another, because these token swaps increase our market cap, no?
They do.
So if we hope to make another 4 million in swaps, we'll have another 2 million in the coming days, plus water. I think we could take the hit if we went to 4 million. And what is our liquidation price?
Liquidation price would be 6.7 cents. So
it's so minimal though, once you're at that low.
Yeah. But if we can also skimp on collateralization and just do 300 to start. And if we only do 300%, then we're only putting in 3 million in the market cap.
Yeah. At this rate, it's tenths of a cent is the liquidation difference.
Yeah. So if we then it goes from 6.7 cents to 8.9 cents when we put in less collateral.
300%. Okay.
It was really fun to make this calculator, let me just say. It was really interesting math. I learned a lot. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, what do you think, Mitch? If you were God, what would you set these numbers at?
It's such a small difference once we get down that low. I think 200%, 250% collateralization ratio.
For the LTV? Where we get liquidated?
Yeah, we get liquidated at 200%.
Okay, so you would say 66 then here.
Yeah.
That's the 200%.
Maybe
And
we
then,
go ahead.
And then for over collateralization to initialize?
300?
300. So this would get us liquid. So here we would get liquidated at 10 cents with that setting.
So maybe LTV 75 and then collateralization 300?
Yeah, so that brings us to 8.9 cents.
Okay.
And we can always put in more give, right? So like if we start at 300%, hopefully the Angel Vault will help our price a little bit. And we won't have to, but then maybe if it drops to 250 relatively quick or something, we just throw in more give.
Yeah. Yeah, really, like, we have give that we can throw at this. We really just, like, don't want to lose too much off the market cap. So, I mean, that seems fine to me, like shooting a bit lower.
Yeah. Okay, I like these. Lauren, Suga, Kotabe, Giant Kin, anybody else have any input here?
I think it makes sense, and especially with like from the perspective that you mentioned yesterday, Ray, of, we'll try these 1 month, we'll learn a shitload, and if we need if we have more give to just throw in there, if things start getting a bit scary, then we are covered. So numbers looks good for me.
Suga, you turned on your video like you might have something to say here. I'm excited to hear your thoughts. Oh no!
Oh no, sorry. No, I actively was having my video, but I don't have anything profound. I don't know. I kind of like what I think it was Kotabi was just saying. It's. I don't want to say it's 6 and 1/2 dozen in the other, but I don't feel qualified to judge that. Like, what's the? I have useless advice on this one. Pass it to Lauren.
I was a bit distracted trying to set up things for the comms call, but I was thinking I'll watch this in 2 times speed after the call and see if I have any opinions for the forum. Sorry.
Yes, you dropped off really quick, but do you have any thoughts on the LTV?
Yeah, my connection is really horrible. Do you guys hear me well?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm pretty much on the same page with what was discussed. I mean, what I've also seen across other pools, what they put on their tokens is like relatively low, like 65-60% LTV. Because I also don't think we're going to do anything risky to expect any huge volatility, especially with the token swaps that we're doing. You can maybe even expect improvements and then combine with the Angel Vault, even more improvement. But I understand we want to also be a little conservative here and make sure we're not taking risks considering everything that's been happening around, the trade and the hack and so on. So I think I'm okay with what we were discussing here. It makes sense. We can always, change it and lower it.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot easier to raise it than it is lower. But the thing is, we're the only depositor. And I think given that, it's such a different game. Giant Kin, do you have anything to add?
No, I prefer lower, but for the LTV part, but that's all.
And that's because
safety.
Because of ET.
Yeah. I prefer being safe, and we can raise it later if we want to.
I have to jump out, so I'm going to end the stream now. Tom's call starts now. But thanks, everyone.
Cool. Thank you all.